Welcome to an early edition of Phoenix Talks, where normally we are coming to you on a Saturday afternoon, but we got a birthday this weekend that my co-host Diane needs to attend. So we are doing our talk today.
Hello,
And
hello.
we are excited to bring you a conversation completely organic because I don't know where she's going to go. She doesn't know where I'm going to go with it. But we're going to talk today about the fear of discomfort. It came up in our last conversation. It just kind of came to mind. And it's something for me that a lot of my clients and a lot of people that I talk to battle with. And they don't even realize that they battle it or that they're afraid of it. So for me, just to kick things off, since it was my idea and I'm ready for it. My take on the fear of discomfort is we're afraid of change. We're afraid of what if we do something that is going to upend, if you will, a situation, whether it be a job, a relationship, having a conversation, having a difficult conversation with somebody, purchasing a house, moving, things along those lines. And there is such a dramatic change that's possible that sometimes we allow the fear of the discomfort of that change to prevent us from moving and from doing what it is that we need to do. And that's where a lot of people are at. I know I've been in that position. I don't know if Diane's been in that position, but I know I have.
I'm in that position every time I level up.
Because it's not comfortable.
I dive into the discomfort at this point.
but a lot of people don't know how
So
to
let's talk about
make
that.
that
I love
first
what you
step.
said. I love what you said, and I'm going to add to that. And it's got so many branches to it because it really truly is the fear of the change, um, the fear of the person's reaction, the fear of having enough or being stable enough for the change that might be coming. Discomfort could even be as simple as you asking someone for a favor
Yeah.
because you're uncomfortable with asking anybody for help because of your whatever issues. So
Mm-hmm.
it covers areas of emotional health, mental health, and physical health. So being uncomfortable in a healthy way is what I want to talk about as well.
All right.
So a lot of people don't know why they're afraid of the changes, and et cetera. A lot of it has to do with what it is that they have experienced in the past, where change was uncomfortable for someone else and it went very badly for them
Right.
because
And
of,
and there's what a lot of people would say, oh, well, I have a lot of PTSD over that. No, you just have a lot of thought around it that's kind of clouded the potential of what could be.
right. And if it means discomfort in talking to somebody, then you're fearing what their reaction is going to be.
Right.
So there's that part too. If it's you getting on stage and doing something, whatever, I'm throwing an example out there, or if you have a business meeting and you have to make a presentation, whatever your thing is, and there's that discomfort. There's so many levels to discomfort. So what is it at the root of why we're afraid? We're afraid of people's reactions, so that means we're afraid of what other people think.
Right.
We're afraid of not being stable and comfortable. And that is going to be something where you have to release control and know and trust yourself that you put all the things in place that need to be in place in order for you to transition properly. And if you didn't, it'll present itself for you. So there's a level of surrender that needs to happen, which that surrender really involves trusting yourself to have taken the actions you needed to take towards your shift.
Exactly. One thing that so
One
many
point.
people don't realize is just how resourceful they are.
Mhm,
And when there is a transition that needs to be made or that they want to make,
mhm.
they
Right.
forget how resourceful they are and get caught up in the thinking. And that's one of the biggest things that attributes to that fear is okay, they need to have one of those conversations with someone.
Mhm.
And they try and I know I've done this, where they try and rehearse how it's going to go so that they're ready.
But you can't because you don't know what the other person is going to say. It doesn't matter what you think.
Exactly.
They're going to say it's however it comes out of their mouth, and you have to understand. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second.
But every time I try and talk to him, he always acts this way.
Okay, so that's his pattern or her pattern. Okay, that's what you're dealing with then. So how are you presenting it? So ask yourself these questions. Oh, I go back to that, the gates. Is it true? Is it relevant? Is it kind? Stick to the facts. Don't bring in emotional side things. Just stick to the facts of whatever it is that you need to bring across to the person. Speak respectfully,
Hmm.
and make sure you stick to what's relevant and really your truth. Okay. If there's going to be arguing back and forth, I mean, really, it's you decide that you're standing firm in your truth and you can't let somebody else tell you how you feel or tell you how you think. If you experienced it, you experienced it. So you stand firm in that. Because if you don't, you're going to get bulldozed over by that person that you're so uncomfortable talking to.
Right. That
And if
is
they still continue to bulldoze, listen, walk away, okay? That's not on you. Time to go. There's got to be a cutoff point.
there does.
Mhm.
And there's also, going back to boundaries, when since we're on the topic of
Yeah.
conversations of fear and in that discomfort, when the boundary is crossed between receiving a response to it being worse in some fashion. Once that boundary is crossed, then the need to say, hold up, you need to pause. Now, one of the hard parts is when we want to be authentic, when we want to have a heart to heart with somebody and tell them exactly how we feel, they're going to have a reaction or response based on what is said. And that's where the discomfort comes in for a lot of people, especially if they have a long history with a person. And in those types of situations, they've seen more reaction than they have response. So that fear of the reaction can
Mhm.
prevent the conversation from happening. But if going in, you already know that, not taking it personally, because many, many, many times when somebody reacts to you, it isn't about you, but
Yeah,
it doesn't feel that way because it's directed.
right.
And that's where we get afraid.
That's why you got to stand firm in your truth and trust that you know how you feel and you know what you experienced. And if it didn't feel right, it wasn't right. So if you're trying to have that uncomfortable conversation with somebody in order to, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? I forgot. Anyway, advocate. That's the word for yourself. Sorry, that was a moment.
Oh no, that's okay. It's crazy because that you forgot that particular word, because how many people have trouble self-advocating?
Right. Well, that's what the discomfort is. It's that fear of that discomfort because you don't have the tools. Truth,
Right.
relevance, kindness. Those are the three gates. Has to be true, has to be relevant, has to be kind. It can't just be one of them or two of them. It has to be all three simultaneously, or don't say it. So that means you have to pause yourself and think about what it is that you're responding to. So you're not
Right.
having emotional reaction.
And we
Um,
do have a comment while we're talking about this, we do
Oh,
have a
great.
comment from the chat. Dee says sometimes it's easier said than done to walk away. Of course it is,
Of course it is. Absolutely.
especially
It's
if they
always,
chase,
what was that?
especially if they chase you.
Yes, well, it depends on the circumstance and situations because there's so many different variations of toxic environments. So you really do have to use your discernment and judgment as far as what you're dealing with and
Right.
take preparations. I mean, that's a whole different conversation. If we wanted to have a DV conversation, we can. Because that's an important conversation to have too for a lot of people. How do you get out of
Yes,
your violent situations? That's a whole new podcast or live.
but we'll keep it in a narrower and safer environment for today. With when things start to get heated between two people, and someone needs to have the capability of enough for now. This needs to be put on pause because we're just both in reaction mode.
You need two parties to be equally as thoughtful and mature. Otherwise, you're going to have more discomfort. So, I mean, I know the conversation's about the fear of the discomfort, and we want to give solutions to try to alleviate some of that fear.
Yeah.
And so the solutions are similar to the conversations that we've had in the past. Why are you fearing their reaction? Is it going to be explosive? Or are you going to disappoint them and you don't want to feel like you disappointed somebody? Or, there's a million different levels to this.
Are you afraid that if you show your true colors that you're going to be rejected or pushed aside
Right,
or thought differently about?
right.
Meanwhile,
Ultimately,
if you're not giving into, or not giving into, but if you're not moving above the fear that the discomfort of the potential or the possible is causing, you're not being authentic to yourself. You're not being authentic to your partner or the situation. And you're
right.
just maintaining and dealing with it and saying, well, that's the way it is. How's that working for you guys?
Yeah. So the conversations that we've had in previous lives, we talk about not judging yourself. We talk about trusting your judgment. After you don't judge yourself, trust your judgment. Trust your judgment. Don't judge yourself. Uh, exactly.
Don't tr-
Trust yourself.
but and you say but I don't get
Believing
what?
in, yes, because if you go back to that judgment one, we did talk about good and bad because you have to use your discernment.
Yes,
So whatever it is that you are going through, it's about you being authentic to yourself. That's how you get over above the fear, is you have to be authentic with yourself. That's what you were saying, Micah, is without that authenticity, you're going to be stuck in the same hamster wheel for an eternity because you're not making any changes. You're not
right,
choosing to be uncomfortable to make a change in your life that's going to make you a lot more comfortable. So,
exactly.
so definitely allow yourself permission to be uncomfortable, to face the fear of whatever it is that you're facing, in any direction of this discomfort, because it even could just be like the fear of changing jobs because you're not comfortable with having to learn all over again and, the learning curve and a new position and all that jazz. You
Yeah,
have to move on in life. You still have to evolve. How do you know that you're not going to learn some amazing things that brings you to a whole new level you didn't realize you were capable of? How do you know you're not going to make a new friend or something that might last a lifetime at that new job? So if you
right,
let
right.
fear take over, you're not going to allow yourself permission to continue to evolve. So if you maintain that focus on just learning about yourself so that you can be as authentic as humanly possible in the moment, then you'll be fine. You'll be able to be uncomfortable. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Right. And what you were just talking about, Dee is a personal friend of mine, and she just recently went through a major job change, one that she had been working at for years, and then transitioned to completely new atmosphere. And yeah, it was a little bit uncomfortable. It was a little bit scary for her. I know we've had conversations off to the side, but the benefit of that change opened up doors that she had been avoiding for a long, long time. And the newfound freedom that is there because the fear of discomfort was gotten over, to say, I gotta go. I can't do this anymore. Not if I am going to achieve what it is that I want to achieve. I got to go. I have to make this change. And she got so strong in it, and then took some time, because we all need that break in between.
Yeah.
And then took some time, regrouped, and then jumped right in.
Yeah.
So the hardest part of getting over fear of discomfort is the first step in any situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hardest part. But once you make that first step, once you realize this is what I want, this isn't what I want, I need to make this change. How am I going to make it? Okay, this is how. Oh, no, I can't. That's scary. You gonna get anywhere doing that? No. And this isn't to belittle or to come across as belittling, but when you are sitting back and sitting in an uncomfortable place and feeling comfortable in it because you're too afraid to make the first step to get to something that is going to work for you, regardless of what that something is, how's that working for you?
The question is,
Dramatic
when are you
pause.
uncomfortable enough to make the change? It's almost like you have to be uncomfortable in order to make a change, but you have to get really more uncomfortable in order to decide to make that change.
Right.
Get comfortable with discomfort because it's going to happen, but minimize your discomfort and minimize in what categories of discomfort there is by being as authentic as possible and as true to yourself as possible, by getting to know yourself as much,
Exactly.
advocating for yourself, caring for yourself, self-love, all that stuff that we teach is the foundation of basically eliminating fears, period, in your experience.
And part of fear is just thinking the same thought, same negative thought over and over again.
Yeah.
I can't do that. That's uncomfortable. That I can't afford that. How many I can'ts start a sentence when it comes to making a change?
Yeah.
Because whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, either way, you're right.
Yeah. So with the fears that come with easier said than done, um, I don't want you to forget the piece about when you actually do those first baby steps to give yourself gratitude and cheer yourself on for your moving forward.
Yeah.
Get excited about now this new adventure where you're going to learn new things for yourself in that discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The
Absolutely.
energy that you bring to that discomfort is going to help you through it. So you need to bring in that like more higher vibrational energy of gratitude and excitement and learning, knowledge seeking, that kind of thing.
Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better.
Yes, that part. Yeah.
And another thing, when when these fears creep in that hold us back from walking through the discomfort of whatever, how many times have, in the course of your life, have you gone through something and made it out the other side?
Mhm.
And it might have been something scary, might have been something that hurt you on a physical level, it might have been something that hurt you on a psychological level, mental, spiritual, wherever you want to take it, whatever it did. But if you're watching this, congratulations, you made it through it.
I'm going to add to that. You didn't get this far just to get this far.
Ding.
There is discomfort in evolution. There is discomfort in self-healing. There is discomfort in becoming more authentic. Get comfortable with the discomfort. Alleviate your fears by securing who you are as a person. Become more in tune with yourself. The more you learn about yourself, the more solid you become. Yeah.
Yep.
And, if you are in a situation where it's, the danger is kind of easier said than done, please expand your knowledge, educate yourself. We have free education at our fingertips on the internet in every direction. Use your discernment, that's the healthy judgment, to determine, what information is legit or not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And guide yourself to gather as much information as possible so that you can make healthier, safe decisions in whatever situation you're in that isn't safe.
Right.
Okay,
And the fear of discomfort isn't always about an unsafe situation.
No, and every county has plenty of resources and wherever you're living for any kind of circumstances that require the extra resources.
Guides are pushing you on this one for whoever's going to watch that on the replay.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel that one. So yeah, if there is that need for external help, do not be afraid to reach out for it.
There's a ton of organizations on the internet. You just got to Google it for your area and you'll find plenty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I know the lighter discomfort is the other end of the spectrum where it's like about evolution and
Yeah.
self-improvement, but the darker side is the discomfort is because you're in a toxic situation.
Right.
There's every piece of the spectrum.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
there's the, oh, well, I don't want to wear that because it doesn't feel right, fear of discomfort, to the, oh, well, I need to change jobs because this isn't working for me, discomfort. And then there's the other,
Mhm. Right.
where it is a matter of your sanity and
Yeah.
safety. And if that is a situation that you, the viewer, is in, watching live, watching the replay, whatever, know that it's okay to find that safety, that you don't have to live in that fear. You don't have to live in that environment. That
And
by
you should,
continuing on, and this is the hard part for a lot of people to hear, but sometimes they need the hard part to be said. The staying is your choice, not because you're forced, unless there's a whole nother conversation that could be had about that. But
that's a different spectrum.
completely different spectrum, completely different news topic, which we're not going to go into. But when it comes to staying in a situation that you know is toxic for you on whatever level, it is by your choice. And your fear is that teddy bear that you grab onto, which is the good times during those bad. Because it's
We're not
easier.
talking about the severe situations. That's a whole different
Nope.
conversation.
Nope. not the severest of the severe.
Mhm.
We try and avoid those here. We're kind of the overgeneralized here.
Yes, we're doing overgeneralizations with lots of meat and potatoes that are very specific. Very specific overgeneralization.
Oh, we got Hildy in the audience,
Hi,
and
Hildy.
she says, I've been doing a lot of things that I was scared to do for a very long time, and most of them worked out so well that I wondered why I didn't do it sooner.
There you go. Thank you for sharing that. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is exactly our point.
Yes.
Because once that first step is made to make that change, to make those changes,
Mm-hmm.
things just start to fall into place. Is it easy? No. Is it comfortable? No. But once you get on the other side,
Yes.
it's like,
Yes. And what is the discomfort? It's fear of the unknown, really.
yeah,
You don't know what's going to happen, so you have to surrender that idea of expectations and control and, outcome generation. Just let it all go and trust that you put in place what needed to be put in place in order for you to receive the kind of outcome that you're hoping for. But also be okay if it doesn't align, because it's about aligning. If it ain't meant for you, it ain't going to go down. It's just not.
nope,
So
nope.
be okay with that too, because understand it's not rejection or it's not a no or whatever, it's redirection. So keep that learning.
Failure as feedback.
Yeah. Keep that learning mindset. Keep that
Mhm.
excited to learn what's coming mindset. And it'll be a lot easier.
Right. I mean, whether it was Edison or Tesla, it doesn't matter who. But if they gave up the first few times that the light bulb didn't work, we wouldn't be having this conversation now.
That was Edison, and he discovered 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb. Mostly his lab assistant, actually.
But somebody had to make a mistake to figure out the correct way.
Exactly.
They didn't give up. They didn't fear the discomfort. Well, they got over the discomfort of, well, that didn't work. Well, I guess I'm
Try
not.
another one. Right. Right. I'm trying something new on a custom orgonite piece that I'm involved in right now. And it's something I've never done before. So I was so uncomfortable the other morning when
Am I doing this right?
I don't get to
It
mess
should be
up.
working.
If I mess up, it's different. Like it's a piece that is already mostly done. I can't start over. I can't obtain the same exact material again,
So you're holding it and going, oh.
So the nerves. Oh God. I did not finish it because of I'm working through that piece. I'm working through my discomfort right now.
But that's a very good example of having something in your hands that is almost complete that you can achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times what we're trying to get to, that we're having to get through discomfort from, it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
The knowledge, the capability, even if it
Yes,
doesn't look like it, it's right there.
it's the first time I'm
But
doing it.
but if you're going to come at it with a shaky brush, you're yeah, and it still may happen, but
Yes.
that accident could start the creation of what you intended the first place.
Right. Now, I also want you to reconnect with your we have 5 minutes, with your inner child on this one, because if you can recall, um, you really didn't have any fear as a child in that way because you always were exploring. Children are like little explorers and scientists. They just want to try everything and look at everything,
Mm-hmm.
play with everything, and curiosity. So if you bring that into your experience now and approach things with that curiosity, you will help yourself through that discomfort. You will become more creative with yourself because you're not going to limit yourself as much. Um, and it's certainly going to alleviate all of your fears.
Right. And if that pile of clothes in the corner, as when you were a child, when the lights turned out and it looked like a monster,
It's not.
it,
That's
and
really
once
it.
and once you turn the light on, you see that it's just a pile of clothes again.
Right. Right.
And you were resourceful enough to check by flicking on that light switch.
Mm-hmm.
So do it.
Mm-hmm. And I like the way you said that. You were resourceful enough to confirm, or negate whatever it is that you were experiencing.
That's not the
That was
first time
the
in the last couple
mindset.
of weeks that I've had to use that phrasing of being resourceful,
Mm-hmm.
because there was something in a conversation that I won't air where something happened
Mm-hmm.
or could have, but and the thoughts of, okay, how am I going to fix this? Oh, wait, I can get through this. Okay, all right, I know what I need to do. Situation didn't happen, but Marie needs to go out. But um, the resourcefulness was realized that it is there. And we all have that capability. We all have that innate knowledge of tapping into. So, yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable to make the changes that you want to make in your lives, but you don't need to be afraid of them.
Right.
Won't be easy. That's okay.
But
You
it'll
don't
be
learn
fun.
if it is.
It'll be fun.
Look at it as a game.
Exactly.
So I think I can't believe we've been talking for like almost 45 minutes now.
Yeah. What a great conversation.
It really was. and and we could just, keep yanking out of thin air to keep
And
it
thank
going.
you, Hildy.
Yes, thank you for being with us tonight, Dee and Hildy, in the live chat. We really appreciate you being here. And to anyone watching the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. We really do hope that you are taking some knowledge from our conversation and being able to put it into your everyday use. And if you need to reach out to either one of us, links will be put below this. They should be there by the time you see this, so that you can reach out to either one of us. If you want to arrange a conversation one-on-one, we'd love to talk to you and help you work through those fears of discomfort or judgment or validation or whatever else that we've talked about in the past 15 episodes. So,
Yes.
so we won't be back again until next Saturday, because Diane is going to go and celebrate her son's birthday with him.
Birthday.
Have
Yes.
some great time with him.
Yes.
And we'll come up with a topic of conversation between now and then. It didn't pop in this time, but that's okay.
It will
So
pop up from now till then.
make sure you're dusting off those ashes and
Yes.
rising, Phoenix. Bring in your authenticity and let it shine.
Let
And
it
make
shine.
sure you just keep on going.
That's right.
Until next time.
Until next time, love yourself.
Love yourself the way we love you.